Crowd.
Every deal pitched on the Cash Crowd is open to a crowd of accredited investors who can get in online. But know this, while startup investments have potential for explosive growth, they're also potentially extremely high risk. We'll meet the entrepreneurs in a moment. First, let's meet who they're here to pitch to.
Lynn Tilton, self-made billionaire and owner of the largest woman-owned business in America. She's invested in and restructured more than 240 companies. She owns MD Helicopters, Rand McNally, Stila Cosmetics, and more than 70 other companies. Eric Ryan, co-founder of the eco-friendly cleaning product company Method, a brand he started in his apartment and turned into one of the fastest-growing consumer packaged goods companies in America, with sales over $150 million in 2013. Barry Nailbuff, business professor at Yale and co-founder of Honest Tea, a company he started with one of his students and eventually sold to Coca-Cola for an undisclosed amount between $100 and $200 million.
Here come two entrepreneurs hungry to build the next fast casual dining empire on a food you may never have heard of.
My name's John Paul Lee. I'm the founder and CEO of kosofresh. My mother's been a restaurateur for over 40 years now. Never thought that I was going to get into the food market, but I guess it was in my blood and I'd love to eat. It was a match made in heaven. If you like spicy, I would recommend the kimchi.
Yeah.
We serve a product called bibimbap, and bibimbap is a Korean rice bowl. We just recently brought on a new partner in the business. His name's Nick Romano. He's actually a really good friend of mine from high school.
Part of what we're trying to do with kosofresh is establish an identity for Korean food. Joined together, I feel like we can take this business very far.
We are hungry for growth, and timing is everything. We're considered the pioneers in the space that we're in. We'd love to capitalize on that momentum.
We have put our blood, sweat, and tears into this effort. There's a lot at stake here for us.
Guys, welcome to the Cash Crowd. kosofresh is currently raising money on the online crowdfunding platform Circle Up. The deal that you're pitching is open to the accredited investors online and, of course, to the ones sitting right here in the studio. John Paul, how much are you looking to raise?
We're looking to raise $1.5 million.
$1.5 million.
Sir.
Okay, you have opted to pitch solo, so Nick, can you step out of the way for us, please? John Paul, the Cash Crowd is ready for you now. You have 30 seconds, go.
kosofresh is a Korean fast casual concept that specializes in bibimbap, a combination of rice, vegetables, proteins, and sauces mixed together to create a healthy, delicious, and accessible meal. Korean cuisine has seen explosive growth in recent years, and we're here today because we want to capitalize on that momentum. kosofresh is the fast casual response to the rising popularity in Korean food. We offer deconstructed meals in an assembly line model where customers can rebuild according to their own palates. And we're seeking your help in fueling our growth into retail.
And you finished early, John Paul. Thank you very much.
Oh, nice. So get a
Panel,
bonus. Thank you.
Congratulations. Panel, come back. Panel, they're all yours. Lynn, why don't you kick us off?
I'm always looking for the dream, right? I'm sure your dream isn't this one restaurant. So how do I really grow with you? What is the dream that you're trying to create here?
Well, Korean cuisine is still a very relatively small market here in the United States, but it is one of the most exciting and disturbing elements in the food space. So quick service restaurants currently grow at 3.5%. Fast casual is growing about 9.5%, and Korean cuisine itself is at 15%. So we're in the largest market within that. We believe that this can be a very disruptive concept all across America and beyond that, outside of the world as well.
Lynn, Eric, Barry, why don't you have a taste? They've actually served the food in front of you. Do lift up and see what the product is here. Eric, further questions?
Yeah, guys, your entire business model success is based on scale. What are the biggest barriers to scale for you?
So the biggest barriers to scale for us today is raising the capital to get our first retail store in the ground. So we're here today to raise that capital. We believe that we've calculated out to be $650,000 to get our first retail store on the ground. We believe that once we demonstrate to other investors the performance of that retail store, we'll be able to scale that model over and over again, not first within New York and then across the country.
Barry, Professor?
안녕하세요. Welcome.
Wow.
You are, in its essence, the Korean Chipotle. And my question is, how do we know the market is ready for that? They're doing shop house. What's the evidence that Americans are ready for kimchi?
So we have basically taken the last 2 years since this business was founded and proven the concept. So the path that we took to where we are today is that we wanted to have as many mouths as possible taste our food, have time to refine our recipe, build our brand, build our infrastructure, and get the logistics under control so that we could go out and start a retail location. We have actually been in 20 different locations all over New York, in investment banks, in office buildings, in universities, and we've had 2 pop-up stores that have been very successful. So we now have all that market data that we can take to start our retail concept.
So my question for you is, if you're really trying to build the retail space, why are you asking for $1.5 million for $650,000 investment in a restaurant? Why would I give you money to pay down debt and to pay yourself salaries when this dream is about growth and getting as many meals into people's hands?
So what we're trying to do with the $1.5 million, as you mentioned, so $650,000 would go to building out the retail model. We do have some working capital needs that we would like to take care of. As we grow, we need to fund that growth by purchasing more supplies and building out our team. The management team, we do need to scale. We need an operations manager. We need to add folks in the kitchen. We need someone who's going to help us on the retail front.
I think you're building a team before you have a business. I think it could be a big mistake.
Eric?
Yeah, guys, the food is great. You've obviously spent a lot of time dialing in the product. Talk to us a little bit more about the retail concept. What's going to differentiate you? How is the brand going to be different? Because obviously a lot of others are eyeing a similar space.
Absolutely. Well, Korean food in general, like I said, is not a very popular market today. It is growing and it's growing rapidly. What we want to do is bring that cultural experience to the customers, including greetings, including the entire processes that goes from the grains and the granular levels of deconstruction to rebuilding of an entire meal in one assembly line model.
Okay, guys, it's time to talk cash. Will the super panel show Kosofresh the money? We'll get answers after this.
And is the online crowd hungry for this deal? We'll reveal how much the company's raised so far.
Welcome back to the Cash Crowd. This is the moment of truth for John Paul Lee and Nick Romano. They deliver their pitch to the Cash Crowd. Now it's time to talk money. The Kosofresh deal is live on the crowdfunding platform Circle Up. Today's ask, up to $1.5 million. Since September, the company has generated $25,000 in commitments, but Kosofresh must raise a minimum of $250,000, $250,000, or those commitments will not be funded. Guys, panel, it is decision time. The minimum investment in the deal starts at $25,000. Eric, they asked to hear your verdict first.
Sure. John Paul and Nick, there's a lot to like here. You guys got great hustle, second-time entrepreneur, and the space makes a lot of sense. You got macro trends at your back here, from the growth of casual fast, the growing popularity of Asian food, to health and wellness. So there's a lot to like here, but before I invest, I want to understand more about how you're going to bring this retail life to concept, and if you truly have a differentiated platform as others enter the space. So I'm going to pass today, but I want to stay close, understand more, and a potential strong investor in the future.
Okay, Professor.
I love the fact that you've done trial at corporate accounts. I love the taste of the food. It's fresh, it's delicious. So I'm in for $25,000 on 2 conditions. One is that I want the other investors to be in. And by that I mean I don't want paying off debt. I want those people converting their debt to equity. And the other is that when it comes time to sign a bank loan, because you're going to need it for working capital, I want you to give that guarantee, because otherwise we're going to have to raise too much equity.
Okay, Lynn.
I agree, there's a lot to like. I think the concept is great. I think the food is great. I struggle with 2 things. That long-term vision, I think he started out so smart with very little working capital, getting the concept going in. But the one retail store, I asked you for the dream of how you would then sell it to someone else or work with someone else. I didn't get that. The other thing is I owned 3 restaurants before I was 25. I know how hard the business is and how committed you need to be. So I'm not in right now, but I want you to keep dreaming the dream. I think you need to refine your offering. I think fewer people right now, less debt, payoff.
Okay.
But I think you can really take it forward.
Okay, gentlemen, you needed to hit $250,000 for those commitments to be funded. Between the panel and the crowd, you have $50,000, so you're not funded yet. Sorry. So for how long does the offering stay open now?
Well, we still have another 101 days, exactly. Right. And we're also having a lot of great conversations offline as well. So we're hoping that we can get to
And are you understanding how you can move the conversation along more productively so you will get the funding in the end?
Absolutely. This was a very helpful session, and we definitely have learned a lot today.
Okay, it's great to meet you both. Thank you very much.
Likewise.
Good luck.